This will be talking to us live by satellite from Los Angeles if we can get the steam radio working. First, let's take a break. Again, welcome back. Our next guest must surely qualify now as rock legends. Genesis are in California promoting their latest album, I Can't Dance, which is now at number 3 in the album charts. And next week, the band are shooting a video for a single from the album, and they're also planning a world tour starting in May. More about that later. In a moment, we'll be joining the lads live by satellite in Los Angeles. But first, here's a taste of what you can expect, a clip from the video of their single, No Son of Mine. Classic Genesis stuff, isn't it? Now we can cross over live to Los Angeles, where Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford and Tony Banks are waiting to talk to us. Good morning, boys.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, I know that you're actually staying up late at night, aren't you? You've got a squeaky clean image. This is rather past your bedtime.
Squeaky clean? How dare you? No, it's only up past 12. We're just about to go out.
Oh, go out to party. So it's not true, all this. You're not sex, drugs and rock and roll, Genesis. That's what they always say about you.
Oh, OK, we're not then.
We've just had a chance to see the video, and we've seen the fox sticking out of the wall. Phil, were you standing behind that fox holding it in place?
No, but it's actually a strong moment, actually, when the heads come to life. But, no, we like the idea of what do we like the idea of, guys? No, we like the video was quite a strong sort of statement with the lyric of the song, but the extra little bits with the fox, the animals coming to life, was just the director's thing.
Yeah, it's very strong. We Can't Dance. It's the first album for 4 years. Mike, why has there been that sort of delay for you between the last album and this one?
It's not quite as long, actually. I mean, the last time we played together was in July '87. We finished the tour, so for us the gap was actually 3.5 years. Didn't feel like 3.5 years. Solo albums, Phil done some acting. It's the natural time for us to start the new album. Time flies these days.
Well, you pointed out you've all had highly successful solo careers. What is it that actually makes you get back together? I mean, you particularly, Phil, because you've had the film career as well.
Well, I mean, it's something that we don't do on our own, you know. I mean, Genesis is very much the way we write the songs. I mean, all these songs on the new album came from a blank sheet of paper. We go into the studio with no ideas at all. We deliberately leave the stuff that we've written individually at home, and we come in and we start improvising, mucking about, really. And we record everything and sort of listen back to it and take little bits that sound good, and we expand upon them, and they end up becoming songs. They end up becoming pieces of music that we end up using in different shapes or forms. So there's a very definite reason why Genesis should be here for us. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy the process of writing together, you know.
The impressive thing seems to be that you've said that you've got lots of other commitments as well. They told me that you actually put the material for the album together in about 6 weeks altogether last summer. Is that right?
Well, it took a bit longer than that, probably more like 8 weeks, really. We went into the studio last March and started writing the record, and it took us about 2 months to write, and then we did the lyrics, really, and then we recorded it. So the whole process took about 4 or 5 months. You know, we like to work as fast as we can.
It could have taken any length of time, couldn't it? I mean, it's just that it happened to sort of come together, you know.
So you're
quite
now
quickly.
all sort of poised to start a world tour. Are you going to start that off in Britain?
No, we're going to start in America, actually.
Oh, how
I got started.
disloyal.
It means we end up at our best in England.
Yeah,
We're going to rehearse.
It'll be great. It'll be
We're
great.
going to rehearse in the States, and then bring the polished show to England. How's that sound?
Well, I think that is a wonderful excuse. I'm going to turn to the single now that we just saw the video of, No Son of Mine. You particularly, Mike, reputedly wrote about your relationship with your father before in the living years. Now, No Son of Mine is about a father-son relationship and all the regrets. Is it drawn from the same background, or did another one write the lyrics?
No, this one, Phil wrote this lyric, and really, I mean, as you said a minute ago, on this particular song, we were just messing around, improvising and jamming, and the chord sequence and the feel and the atmosphere of the song came, and he started just singing along, and it sounded like, I'm not even sure it was, it sounded like No Son of Mine, which was the phrase in the chorus, which gave the idea to write the lyric really about that subject matter.
I see now. I know Phil has got another project starting in the early new year. Before you actually go on to your world tour, you've got a film that you're about to start production on, aren't you, Phil?
Yes, I'm playing a dodgy insurance inspector in a film called Frauds, which is kind of a sort of, it's a very interesting off-the-wall script written by an Australian guy who's also directing it. We're going to Australia to do it, and it'll be a little bit more demanding from me than Buster was, and it's going to be interesting to do it. You know, I haven't done anything. I did a little cameo in Hook, which is just about to come out here, which is great fun because I was sort of slung in the middle of all these huge stars like Spielberg and Hoffman and Robin Williams and people. That was very interesting, but it was a very small part. But this is the first big thing I've done since Buster, so I'm looking forward to it.
They tell me that you've actually been working with Meryl Streep's voice coach. Is that right?
Joan. Yes, Miss Washington, Joan Washington. Well, yes, she does do Meryl Streep. She does lots of people. Max von Sydow as well. But no, she's great. I mean, she's been very helpful to me. But she did Buster with me, and she's doing the new film, and she'll do anything else I do if she wants to do it, and she's available.
So how are you going to fit your commitments, the three of you, around the world tour next year?
Oh, I don't know. Can you make it?
No, not really.
No, we had the same manager, you see, and so therefore everything we do is carefully planned. And I mean, at the moment we're in a Genesis sort of, we're in a Genesis mode. We did the album, and we planned the tour. We're just sort of waiting a bit because we're doing outdoor gigs, and so therefore it's got to be good weather. And so we're waiting till the summer comes along, beginning of the summer, before we start. And therefore there's a couple of months where nothing's happening Genesis-wise. We're just sort of waiting for the tour to start. So that's why we're doing different things at that period.
Well, the quick consensus in the studio is that we love You're No Son of Mine, and we're looking forward to seeing you next summer.